Hey guys, welcome back to today's video. For this video, I will be telling you guys the time where I accidentally had one of the most embarrassing things happen to me on top of a mountain where everyone can see me. And I realized that I wanted to tell you guys a story because I am gonna go back. I'm gonna start exercising again, basically, and it just reminded me about the time where I wanted to get fit and be healthy, and then this ended up happening to me. It just made me laugh. So hopefully you guys enjoy. And also, I have Osaya here. He's a little fussy because he is fighting his sleep, which I think is kind of weird for him to be fighting his sleep this early in his life. Hello. 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 Alright, so starting off this story takes place 2 years ago, I believe, in the summer of 2015. I don't really remember. I was really trying to remember when it took place, but it doesn't matter. All I know is that it was a summer because it was excruciating hot that day. And me and my boyfriend had been talking about going hiking. I actually was the one who was pushing him to go hiking, and I really wanted to get this great body and get a great ass because everyone's obsessed with like having a big ass nowadays. That's exactly why I wanted to go ahead and work out, because I wanted the good booty and, you know, just have a great butt. So we finally like planned a day to go to Runyon. Because if you guys are from LA, you guys are pretty familiar probably with Runyon Canyon. A lot of people go hiking there. A lot of people like to work out there. So we decided to go one day. And while we were in the car, I was like, yeah, you got to pump me up. You got to hype me up. You got to gas me up. I'm like telling him like, you're going to be like my exercise buddy and whatever. So I'm super excited in the car, right? So once we get there and we find parking, because finding parking there is a bitch. It's just horrible. It's just horrible. So finally, like I said, we get there and we start walking out. And if you guys are familiar with Runyon Canyon, as soon as you guys pass the gate, the entrance, you can either continue walking straight until the road curves to the right and start zigzagging your way up, or you can pass the gate and walk straight and make a left as soon as like there's another option for a road. So we decided to make a left, because if we continue going straight and go up that little zigzag, further up the road, you're gonna have to go down a mountain to come back down, and you have to have pretty good footwork to come down that mountain. And since I'm afraid of heights, the combination doesn't go, because I have really bad choices in life. So I could either fall down and break my face, or I can fall down and die. So we decided to go the left way, and so it's kind of starting backwards. We're starting from the end somehow, like that, if that makes sense. So we decided to go take a left, and we start walking up. We're walking up as people are walking down, because like I said, people tend to go straight and go up the hill, and then we basically started at the end point. So we're walking up while people are walking down. This is a concrete floor, nothing hard, just going up a hill, where we've been walking up for like probably 5 minutes, and we're already sweating super hard. And we have water bottles in hand, but I don't really like to drink water bottles because your mouth gets all like saliva-y. That's not even a word, but it gets full with saliva, and it's just gross to drink water. So I just like would mouthwash and then just spit it back out. Also, mind you, that my eating habits were poor. My eating habits consisted of like hot Cheetos and just gross shit. I was just eating stuff that I shouldn't be eating. I was eating junk food, takeout. Seriously guys, my eating habits were really poor, and I would hardly drink water. It was always like juice or soda. I'm serious, I was just really bad to my own body. So that day of, I decided to drink water, and the night before I decided to drink water for like the very first time, and it was like the worst decision ever, because if you're gonna exercise, you're supposed to like drink water like way like before you decide to exercise, just so you won't be dehydrated like I was. So continue on to the story. Like I said, we were already like 5 minutes up there. I was dehydrated as fuck, and he was like sweating, but he has, like I said, discipline, so it was all good. He kept pushing me because, like I told you, I wanted him to hype me up. I wanted him to gas me the fuck up so I wouldn't give up. But I started getting really annoyed. I started getting frustrated because I told him like he knew that I hadn't been exercising, haven't been like, you know, doing stuff to, you know, get in shape. So I should go at my own pace. But he was pushing me way too much, to the point where I was like, you know, you need to stop. you need to stop. Instead of gassing me up, you annoying me. And so he was just doing what I was telling him to do, but I just got annoyed really quickly. So he's pushing me this entire time. Every time that I'm like complaining, telling him like it's hot, like a basic girl, he would be like, no, continue, like just, you know, mind over matter. And we continued. Finally, the floor wasn't like concrete anymore. It wasn't cement. It was dirt. So we're finally at the dirt part, and we're continuing walking, going up this hill, which is like really, really like, it was too much for me because, like I said, I hadn't been exercising, and it was like the worst day we could have probably gone because it was like 100 degrees. And finally, we reached the very beginning part of this mountain that we were supposed to climb. Mind you, this is the reason why we decided to go on this road, because we were supposed to go up the mountain, not go down the mountain. So he's telling me, I'll be right behind you because I'm clumsy as fuck. And I didn't want to, like, you know, fall, and I was I didn't feel good at this point. So he's like, I'll just go behind you. He's like, just keep going, don't stop. He's like, because your groove is gonna be like cut off or something like that. So I was like, okay, whatever, like let me go on my own pace, because by this time I felt horrible. Like my head hurt. I felt like I was like spinning, and it was just bad. I wasn't like myself. And he was like, go faster, Angie, go faster. He's like, I'm over here behind you, and I can barely like even take a step because he's 6 foot and I'm 5'2", so he takes much bigger steps than me. So he's behind me telling me to hurry up, and I'm telling him to shut up because he's annoying me, and that I needed to go at my own pace. So we take like 3 pauses, and I'm like, dude, I don't feel good. And he's like, you know what? You need to throw up. Once you throw up, you'll feel better. And I'm telling him no, because there's not one person on this earth who enjoys throwing up. I don't, and I know you don't. So I was like, fuck no, I'm not throwing up. Like, I don't want to throw up, and I don't have to throw up. So he's like, okay. And we keep going up this mountain. We're almost at the very top of it. But once again, I ended up stopping. And there's like a flat part where I can just like, you know, stand there. And I'm telling him, I'm grabbing onto his shirt, and I'm like, I do not feel good. Like, I don't feel good. Like, I just want to go back home. Like, I don't know what to do to make this like sensation go away. And he's like, dude, you need to throw up. And I'm telling him, no, I don't. Like, I'm arguing with him, like, at the top of this mountain, and there's people that are coming up this mountain just like staring at us, because literally anybody can see us, and we can see the people that are coming up the mountain. And then halfway in the argument, he's like, just throw up. He's like, you'll feel so much better. And I'm like about to say, no, I don't want to. And as soon as I open my mouth to say no, I'm like, no. I like turn around and start puking. I know, TMI, guys, TMI. But this is legit what happened to me. And I think this is really funny. And hopefully you guys find it funny. But I started puking. I puked, and I got back up, and I was like, oh my god, being so dramatic. I was like, oh my god, holding on to him. Like, I threw up, and I started gagging, and I'm like bending over, but nothing comes out. So he's getting frustrated because I keep gagging, and I keep bending down, and I keep coming back up, and I keep gagging, and nothing comes out, and I come back up, and then I gag, and I throw up, and then I come back up, and I'm like, like, you know, because it's just like so much force that like my body is just dehydrated as fuck. All that nasty shit that I put into my body is coming back out. So he's kind of getting annoyed with me, but not telling me at the moment. Actually, he was getting annoyed, and he was telling me to stay the fuck down because he just knows that I'm going to continue throwing up, and he didn't want me to, you know, run out of breath so quickly. And I'm doing that, throwing up, coming back up, gagging, nothing coming out, coming back up and stuff. It was just, I'm just dumb, guys. And then finally, like, my stomach is contracting so hard to this point where I'm like gagging, and I go back down, and I stay down at this point because I don't want to come back up, and my stomach contracts, and I'm like ready to like gag. And when I'm going to gag, my stomach contracts so hard that I end up farting and gagging at the same time. And I heard it, and I felt it, obviously. And I was like, in my head, I was like, oh my fucking god. Like, he just heard me fart. Everyone around me just heard me fart. Like, you know? And Obviously he didn't say anything. He was just like patting my back, like, it's okay, like, you know, just throw up, throw everything up. And people are passing me by this point, and I come back up and I'm like, that was horrible, like, that was just disgusting. I'm wiping my tears, and then I like throw dirt over this puke because no one wants to see a nasty ass throw up. So I was considerate, and I just like threw dirt over it, and so no one can see it. And I'm embarrassed because I still stay there like for another 2 minutes, and people are just passing us, and people are just like looking at us because they had seen us argue from the very top, and then now they're seeing me throw up and him consoling me. So I was like, oh god, oh shit, like, damn, that sucks. So finally we get to moving, and there's this point where we have to go up some stairs, and I felt so much better, and I'm like, you know, prancing and like just totally living up this like thing that I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna get a great body now. And he's like, you feel better now, huh? And I was like, hell yeah, I feel better. And he's like, I told you needed to throw up. And I told him, I was like, no one is ever gonna want to throw up if they don't need to throw up, like, you know. So I was like, that's why I didn't want to throw up. And he's like, well, but you feel better, right? And I was like, yeah, I do. I was like, I feel 10 times better. Like, I feel so much better. And so I'm like jumping over here and just prancing over there, and I'm just very bouncy. And then we crossed this bridge, and then I obviously need to bring up the fact that he heard me fart for the very first time. And then I was like, also, I know you heard me fart. And he starts kind of like laughing. He's like, yeah, I heard you fart. He's like, that was pretty funny. He's like, because I wasn't expecting that. He's like, something was coming out of your mouth. And he's like, and then something ended up coming out of your other end. And I started cracking up, and we just started laughing because literally I was throwing up, and then I farted, like, noise out of both ends. And I just cracked the fuck up because I'm just like, bro, how the fuck did that happen to me? How the fuck did that happen to me in front of him and in front of like all the people that are going up the mountain? Like, that I just think that's really funny. I personally think that's really funny. So now I know, before I start exercising, I am going to hydrate the fuck up. I'm going to drink a lot of water. I'm going to start eating a lot of healthy foods. And I will proceed to continue to exercise. That's the reason I wanted to share this story with you guys. And hopefully you guys found it interesting. Hopefully you found it entertaining. And I will see you guys in my next video. Osaya, you're so heavy, Osaya. You're so heavy. I need to push the button to stop the video. Bye, guys.